Another.
Today.
Today, excellent. Another.
Last week.
Last week, very good. Another.
Years ago.
Exactly, years ago. Yes, of course. Right? Etcetera, etcetera, etcetera. No, this is a massive etcetera that we can have in mind. So, talking about the time expressions, and we are familiar to time expressions, now we need to consider that a complete idea is a time expression. For example, if I tell you, I was 12 years old. This is an idea that can give context to a second idea. You can say, for example, I broke my arm once. Look at these two sentences. Technically, we are saying that a complete idea can be a time expression too. A time expression of for a second idea. I was 12 years old. I broke my arm once. You know where I am going with this, right? You know what is the resulting sentence if you use the connector when, no?
Yes.
How do you connect these two sentences?
I was 12 years old when I broke my arm.
When I broke, exactly. Or switch it. The order of the factors don't affect the result. Action, Caesar. Help us.
Yeah. When I was 12 years old, I broke
Switch
my
it.
arm.
Switch it.
Okay. When I broke my arm.
But when is a connector?
Yeah, okay. I broke my arm.
Exactly. I broke my arm how many times again?
Ounce.
What is ounce? Let's go to the dictionary. Similar to one time?
Once.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Once. Let's try again.
I broke my arm once when I was 12. No.
Exactly.
12 years old.
That's correct. That's the second option for this sentence. So what I want you to observe is how different it is. Of course, when is a connector for two ideas, right? This is when the formula is a little different. Yesterday, we saw that the idea is person that and person that, no? Well, in this case, we are going to do some change. The formula in this case will be move the connector. This is going to be person verb complement then the connector, and then another person verb component. A complete idea connected.
Okay,
Yes.
in this case, we need to use the subject.
Right.
No. Okay.
Exactly. In this case, we need a subject again. Correct, Caesar.
It's possible use I used in my example.
It's possible use
Used when how how do you say intenté?
tried.
Yeah, it's possible use when how I try. For example, when I was 12 years old.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, definitely. And that's precisely my next move.
Okay. Sorry.
Which one of these two is better? In English, it's more common, and we need to consider that as a standard, what is the position of the time expression? Where do you collocate the time expression in English?
After the person?
Wrong. At the end of the sentence, because you say, for example, I was born in 1994.
Yeah.
So the time expression goes at the end, right? Let's take a note about that. We usually put the time expression at the end of the sentence. So, which sentence is a time expression? When I was 12 years old, or I broke my arm once? I repeat, I think we are not understanding. I repeat. The time expression, one of these two is a time expression. I was 12 years old is idea number one. I broke my arm once is idea number two. Which one gives you the context of time?
The first sentence.
And how do you know?
Um, because he's talking about the was, and that's past. I don't know.
But broke is past too.
Okay.
So that's not really the reason.
Okay. It's talking about when it's the time, because you are talking about the age.
Right, the age. So this is giving context to when I broke my arm. Therefore, this specific information, the best position is the end. Take a note on these guys. The best position. The best position for the time expression is at the end. And then Caesar said, okay, what happens if I collocate the time expression first? Well, your sentence is totally correct, but you need to switch everything, including the when. When I was 12 years old, comma, I broke my arm once. This doesn't mean that the others are incorrect. You know, the others are correct too. But it depends on the context. The context, it depends on the intention, how important is to collocate the time expression first or second. So keep in mind that this is correct too. You can also do this. Questions?
No, teacher.
Very nice. As you can see, the position is technically the same, right? But the intention probably can change. It depends on you. The most common is the time expression at the end, but you can move all together using the connector. The most common position, let's go look at this. Much better. Okay. There we go. Well, this is important because the other has the same logic. The same logic. Let's say, for example, that you are speaking about place expressions here, there, on that place, in that location, etc. A complete idea can be the place expression too. A place expression with a complete idea, person verb complement, can be, for example, I visited my grandmother in Chiapas. Right? And this was a very constant in my family. My father would take us to Chiapas to visit my grandmother because my grandmother lives there. So we saw my grandmother in Chiapas. And it was very frequent that in Chiapas I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastries. My cousin had, and my uncles had a pastries cart. And if you listen in English, it's like, what is a pastries cart? Well, you are familiar to a cart. It's a Mexican pastries cart. This is a Mexican pastries cart. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
right? My cousin had a Mexican pastries cart. So I used to go with him and help him sell in the night. No salary, only give me 4 conchas. That's my salary. 5 conchas, not 4, 5. I was very fat. I was
It's
very
delicious.
fat. Exactly. Wonderful life, brother.
Mhm.
Coffee, milk, and 4 conchas. No problem, you know.
Ooh,
Oof.
daddy.
Exactly. So now you get it. I visited my grandmother in Chiapas. Which one indicates place expression? Which one indicates place expression?
The first idea.
The first idea, right? I visited my grandmother in Chiapas. So, Brian, help me connect the two ideas. Remember, the time expression and the place expression goes at the end, more usually, most commonly.
Okay. I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastry. Where I visited my grandmother in Chiapas. It sounds weird.
Wait, it sounds super strange.
Yeah.
It sounds super strange. I
Yeah,
visited my grandmother in Chiapas. I need to change the idea. Where? Okay, let me help you. Where?
I visited. I.
Let me help you. Let me help. Let me change the idea. My cousin grew. Paréntesis in Chiapas. That's the thing. Why in parentheses? Because you can omit this information in the next idea. Action.
My cousin grew in Chiapas. I used to help my cousin make his traditional pastries. So I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastries. Where where he grew in Chiapas.
Good. Good. When he grew in Chiapas. Look at this. The connector where makes the information in Chiapas not necessary. This, because you said where, now this is not necessary. The connector where is giving you information of location. I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastries where he grew. And where did he grow? He grew in Chiapas. That's a second idea. You see? I was thinking about my grandmother, and that can be possible. My grandmother lives in Chiapas, for example. My grandmother lives, parenthesis, in Chiapas. I used to visit, and I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastries. The second idea is the same, but now it's talking about my grandmother. We have three different people, no? How do you connect these two ideas? Help me, for example, Listi, how would you connect these two ideas?
My grandmother lives in Chiapas. I used to help my cousin. I used to help my cousin again. My cousin. Sell his traditional pastries.
Pronunciation in a moment. No, right now.
Pastry.
How
No?
do you pronounce this?
No.
What happened? Soundboard? Soundboard. How do you pronounce this?
A.
Eight.
A.
Yeah. So pronunciation?
Eight.
Complete. B.
Pastry.
Excellent.
Pastry.
Pastry.
Delicious pastry.
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 Okay. Traditional pastries.
Yes.
Pastries.
Don't suffer. Don't suffer. You can.
Where my grandmother lives.
Exactly. Ta-da! Yes, of course. Do you understand?
Yes.
Everybody understands?
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Good.
teacher.
The purple idea tells you the location. Of course, we don't need to say in Chiapas, we don't say the specific location because probably the conversation is not necessary. Probably in the conversation, we are speaking about Chiapas. So it's not necessary to be super specific because we know that my grandmother is in Chiapas, no? In the case that you don't know, you need to be specific. It is a second form, another way to speak. Okay? So this is super occasional. It depends on the occasion. Okay? Questions? Easy peasy Japanese?
No yet.
Not yet. Okay. Then let's process this information. Let's talk about the last part. We are going to go to, we're gonna make examples and exercises, but in a moment. Okay? Let's pass to the final section. The final section is the last connector. What is the last connector that we are going to study? Right. The last connector is whose. And let me just a minute. So I pass. There we go. And look at the title. The title says, expressing possessions without possessives. This is super important. Expressing possession without possessives. I want you to see the following examples. Whose is different. You need to detect possessives. What are the possessives? Well, you can talk about her, my, his, it's, our, they, and your. These are the possessives. Study it because you need to remember possessives. Okay? Now check. We use whose when let's change this. We use whose when we want to give more details about a second person or thing possessed by the first. The first one or the first person. More details about a second person or thing possessed by the first one. What? Let me help you. I met a woman. And this woman is married. Her husband is a famous producer. In order to connect idea number one and expand the information of the husband, I need to replace her using the connector whose. The resulting idea is I met a woman whose husband is a famous producer. The connector whose helps me understand that we are talking about the husband of the woman. The possessive is not necessary. Super important, eh? The possessive is not necessary. We only need a connector whose. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Right, everybody?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. All right. So then, let's try to make this into an example, okay? Let's say, for example, she, let me eliminate the animation. My friend lives in Very far. My friend lives very far. My friend's cat broke my phone. Very sad story. Unfortunately, it's not true. Two ideas, and we have a possessive. Tell me, Hector, what is the possessive in this case? Hector, are you there?
I am here, teacher.
Hello.
Hello,
What's
teacher.
the possessive in this case? What's the possessive in this case?
My friend.
Exactly. My friends. All together. This is the possessive because you have the apostrophe S. So let's take a note. These together. Don't forget apostrophe S. They are possessives too. Okay? So then we say, my friend lives very far. Ah, okay, but I need a gender. I need if it's man or woman. Jimena. Jimena lives very far. Jimena's friend. Jimena's cat broke my phone. Okay. Connect the two ideas, Hector.
Okay. Jimena lives very far. Whose cat broke my phone?
Cat broke my phone. Excellent, that's good. That is technically the way we are supposed to collocate the two ideas. But there is a better form. Technically, we need the help of commas. And this is going to be note number 1 or note number 2. Note 2. Use commas to separate relevant information like parentheses. Or use commas like parentheses to separate relevant information. I'm going to demonstrate these parentheses, commas. Okay, attention here. Jimena, comma, whose cat broke my phone, comma, lives very far. Do you see how this application is done? The commas are making a parenthesis, an imaginary parenthesis, collocating the information in a different position, and it's more clear. We can understand it better. So this is the more common. Questions?
No, teacher.
The parentheses, the imaginary parentheses, are super important in English because commas are different in Spanish and in English. So this is the first time you will see commas. Commas are very, very different in English. Let's try another example, okay? So we can make it more clear. Robert was my partner in my last job. His car is a Mini Cooper. We have a possessive. We have a person, Robert. We have two ideas. Connect the two ideas and separate the complements with commas. Let's go, Benji. How would you do that?
Mm, okay, Robert, comma, whose car is a Mini Cooper,
Exactly.
comma, was my partner in my last job.
Great job. Excellent. My people, you are ready. You are totally ready for these exercises. So every connector has a specific application. When you are talking about who, which, and that, the idea is very, very different compared to whose, where, and where. We need to mentalize. Well, I don't know if you like formulas or you like, what do you prefer, formulas or examples? I honestly prefer examples, but what do you think?
Me too. I prefer examples.
Exactly. Formulas are very complicated. Very, very complicated. So let's take this into consideration. This is going to be the relative clauses structure. Okay? We are going to collocate this information. We use connectors for two ideas when it is necessary to give more than one verb to the subject by combining two ideas using the following formula. No, you two ideas. We should alternate connectors according to the meaning of the sentence. Therefore, it's important to understand the sentence. We use connectors for two ideas when we are expanding our information of the subject. That's much better. It is necessary to give more than one verb to the subject by combining the two ideas. The examples are in front of you. If you like formulas, here they are, but it's very confusing. I suggest that you study the examples, not the formulas. I really, really recommend that. And there we go. The first formulas that we saw was for which and that and who. And the other two are for when and where. In the case of whose, we can use commas. And it's very similar to this. A person whose verb complement, verb complement. Questions, anybody? Any observation? Any critique? Any, I don't know, feedback?
Oh,
Or,
teacher.
no?
I take a screenshot.
Okay, just a second, because see, I'm moving things a lot. So let me just make this grow. And let's put it up. Screenshot. Now we're done.
Thank you, teacher. I send us.
You what? Yes, please send it to the group. Exactly.
Sure.
Good job.
Ready, teachers.
Ready?
Teacher, you can share the last slide?
Sure. Are you talking about whose?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, of course. Okay. So let's go to the next. Okay, we are going to do some exercises. Let's go. Animations. Okay. I'm going to give you one idea and you are going to connect the two ideas, but now we are going to practice any of the connectors. It is possible that is where or when or whose or who or which. Okay? You need to know which one is necessary. Okay, so we're gonna go through the exercise. I'm going to give you one sentence and then you need to connect it using the correct connector and the correct structure. So let's start with number one. Go, Brian. Read the sentence and then give me the answer.
Okay. That is the man spoke to him the other day.
Correct.
And I think it is talking about expression,
An expression?
time expression.
Okay.
So or not.
Or not. Exactly.
I
It
spoke
is
to him
actually not
the
a
other
time
day,
expression.
but the other day it's a time expression.
Yes, but we need to speak about the man, not the time. The time is not relevant.
Okay, so it's for a person. That is the man who who I spoke the other day.
Nice, but incomplete. You forgot one word.
To
Exactly. That too is necessary to be
okay.
copied.
So that is the man who I spoke to the other day.
What a fantastic job, brother. Yes, you are correct. A concha for you.
A virtual concha.
A virtual. Give a virtual concha to this man. Exactly. Excellent, right? That is the man that I spoke to the other day, or that is the man who I spoke to the other day. These are the two possible answers in this case. Any question, guys?
No, teacher.
Great. Let's pass to the next. Go, Elsie.
They elected a new mayor. His aim is to help the poor. They elected a new mayor whose aim is to help the poor.
You are totally correct. Whose aim? What is aim? I'm gonna give you this word as an extra vocabulary. Level according to the dictionary. Aim is level B1. Perfect. This is for you. An aim is similar to objective.
Similar goals? No.
And similar to goal. Excellent. Aim, goal, and objective are synonym. Got it? Let's go to the next. Easty, you next.
Okay.
First, read. I want to check your pronunciation first.
That is the place
Mhm.
I grew up there.
Okay, what's the pronunciation?
Grew. No. Grew.
Exactly. It's grew, not grew.
Grew. Mm-hmm. That is the place I grew up there. I grew up where? No.
I grew up where? That sounds like a question.
Oh, he's a little confused.
Confused or confusing?
Confusing.
It's a little confusing.
It's a little confusing.
Why?
Because where? Okay, I grew up where there. Where is the place? No,
Where is the place?
that is the place.
Why are you eliminating that? You cannot replace where with that. They are not equivalent.
No.
You see? So there's another way, another direction.
I grew up there. Where?
What is happening? Ask questions or something.
Let me check the formula.
Okay. It's right here, eh? Help you with the formula.
Okay. Where? Okay. Implement on complement. Where? Where I grew up there.
Okay. Okay. I see what's the problem. You are not considering there as a time expression, as a place expression. Look, what happens when we are talking about Chiapas?
Eliminate.
Why?
Because the connector substitute.
Right? The connector replaces the place because it's the same information. The word there is a place expression.
Okay.
You see? Then, second observation. What's the position of a place expression?
Finally.
Finally, at the end.
At the end.
At the end. Don't speak Spanglish.
At the end.
Right? At the
Okay.
end. So then your time expression and your place expression, I really recommend you put it at the end. Never put it first for the moment, for practice.
Okay. That is the place where I grew up.
Ta-da!
Okay.
But you need to do something very important, Isti. You answered, but you didn't understand. Did you?
Yes.
What you need to do is to understand the idea. That is the place where I grew up. The word there is equivalent to the place. That is the place. I grew up at that place. So to eliminate repetition, we say that is the place where I grew up.
I see.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Take that as a note. Actually, let's collocate that information here. When we are talking about when and where, especially for where, we are avoiding repetition. This connector helps us avoid repetition, avoid repeating the place. So if you say, my cousin grew up in Chiapas, and I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastries in Chiapas, I can eliminate one of the repetitions.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So you can say, I used to help my cousin sell his traditional pastries in Chiapas, where he grew. Probably this is an additional information that we can take. So guys, repeat this screenshot. I changed some very important information. This connector helps us avoid repeating the place. Questions?
No, teacher.
Cool. This is going to be an additional. Much better. Good. All right. Let's pass to the next. Let's do this one, and then we go to a new one. Let's go with Hector. How do you connect this?
Is whose
Nice.
the bag whose contains a lot of present is heavy.
Okay, whose is possessive, but we don't have a possessive.
No. In this case is no. Okay, is which.
Excellent. Why?
Is which.
And why which?
Because sorry.
No,
Because
don't worry.
we talk about of the contents of the bag Is this the only the contains in this case?
Close. Close. No. The person, the principal person is not the contains, because contains is a verb.
Okay, no. The principal person in this case is the bag.
Is the bag, exactly. And according to the connectors, we use this connector when the person is a thing. So the principal person is a bag, therefore you need a connector which. Okay, contains is a verb in this case, watch out.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
And okay, in this case is the bag is heavy, which contains a lot of present.
Close, almost. Now, similar case as Easty. Your connection, you can optimize this connection. The bag is heavy, which contains a lot of presence. You can make an automation because I don't understand the connection which.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Is the bag is heavy? Which?
You repeated the same. You are repeating optimization. Look at the formulas. Or not the formulas, look at the examples. Here. The exercise was very complicated. Person number 2, nobody could do the exercise. Look at how the connector which is directly after the person. The exercise which nobody could do, comma, was very complicated. I need a comma there. Do you see?
Okay.
Right? Let's try again.
The bag, comma, which contains the bag, comma, which contains a lot of presents, comma, is heavy.
Let's go. The bag, which contains a lot of presents, is heavy. That makes more sense, no? Because if you say the bag is heavy, which contains a lot of presents, sounds super strange, no?
Okay, teacher. Yes.
That's the way, brother. Let's go with another one. Let's go now with Caesar. Here. 1, 2, 3. Action. No, wait. Action number 5. Caesar, are you there? Okay, Caesar is not here, so let's go with Elsie. How would you connect this one?
The film is about a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Her son mysteriously disappears.
Right.
Uh, uh, the film is about a woman whose son mysteriously disappears.
Excellent. That's totally correct. Good job. This film is about a woman whose son mysteriously disappears. No problem in this case. Great job. Let's put to the next one. Go, Brian.
The Maribel Hotel is opening up again. I stayed there a few years ago. Mm, the Maribel Hotel where I stayed a few years ago is opening up again.
Good job. Good job, brother. Very nice. The next. Go. Is Caesar back? Are you there? Okay, he's not there, so let's go with Isti. Number 7. Okay, Isti is also not there, so let's go with
Teacher,
Hector.
I
Oh,
don't see.
there you are. Oh, wait, yeah, that's correct. Sorry. Number 7. There you are. Action.
That's the producer.
Mhm.
His films are always a great success. Um, Producer, his films are always a great success. That's the producer who films are always a great success.
So you use the connector who? Incorrect. You have a possessive.
Possessive.
Because who is to expand information of the producer. But this is not talking
It's
about the
possession
producer.
his film.
Exactly. Oops.
That's the producer. No. The producer, comma, which films are always a great success.
But which
Which
we use this connector when the person is a thing.
which a film
When the person is a thing.
connector to version
The person is not a thing.
the producer
The producer is a human.
human.
that's
Who
why-
is who? Whose? No.
Exactly, yes.
Whose?
Whose is possessive? Do you remember the question for possessive?
Who is this phone?
Who, it's not who is, it's
Who?
whose.
Whose?
Whose, like the connector. WHOSE.
Whose?
We confuse whose with who is because who is contraction, whose. But it's very, very different. Don't confuse whose versus whose. I think you are confusing it with this. You see what I mean?
Okay.
That is the confusion.
Who is a boy?
Whose cell phone is this?
Whose cell phone? Okay.
Exactly. Action.
Okay. The producer, commas, whose films are always a great success.
But you omitted the information.
That's
Exactly. Why are you eliminating that? That is super important. You are indicating indicatives are super important.
okay. That's the producer,
Yes.
commas, whose films are always a great success.
Exactly. Let's go. That's the producer whose films are always a great success. When you use whose, you don't need a comma. Because you are not separating parentheses. Commas are parentheses in English. Very different to Spanish. In Spanish, it's an interruption, but in English, commas are parentheses.
Okay.
Okay? Take it as a note. My people, this is your exercise for the day. That's right, my people. Difficult or easy?
For me, difficult.
For you, difficult? And for the rest?
So.
So. Well, if you need more exercises, let's practice. On the week, we are going to continue practicing relative connectors. Okay? So we are going to connect who, which, that in different ways so we can find an easy way to process this information. Okay? Right now you have the screenshots of this in your phone. Study it, check it, and we continue tomorrow. All right? Okay. Good job, my people. We finished for the day. Happy Wednesday. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Teacher, could you give me 2 minutes?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. See you later, guys.
See you.